What's happening, fight fans? Welcome back to the MMA Mindset. Wolkernite Fight Championship 7, 6 weeks away now, maybe just over 5. Really looking forward to it. Going to be insane. Such a good card with unbelievable gyms coming from all around the UK to come compete on this card, to check out the new cage, to check out the new talent that we've got on display. So yeah, make sure that you do not miss it. Links in the description for tickets, but if you can, please, even if you don't know the people that well, even if you don't know the fighters that well, get in touch with the fighters. Make sure you buy tickets from them because that's who we want benefiting from the financial aspect of the ticket. So make sure that you do that. And then livemma.co.uk if you can't make it to the actual event. But yeah, without further ado, for the first time in a long time, like we were just saying before we started recording, I'm joined by Brandon Auld. How you doing, my man?
All right, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, always good, mate. Like I said, we were just talking there about it'll be over 2 years now since we've seen you. I've been at both of your previous matchups, and obviously not seen you in the cage for a while. Any particular reason about why that was, or were you just kind of taking some time away from competing to maybe build on some skills, or?
Yeah, it was to do with work really. I was in the process of building my own business. So and I had other things going off, outside of the gym. So it was a long time. I kind of fell out of love with the sport for a while. So I think it was burnt out. And then yeah, I've just rocked back in. I've been consistent now for the last 6 months, back in the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week, and I've felt like I'm ready to compete again. I've got the taste for it, so yeah.
Well, it was something that I was quite gutted about the fact that, like, because after watching your first two fights, obviously Callum Haslam, who's a brilliant fighter, and we've seen what he's capable of, and he's beat some really tough guy, and then Zana in your last fight before you stopped competing, he's gone on to fight for titles in regional promotions and stuff now, and that was a super close fight, and it was a bit disappointing because, like I said, you did look unbelievable in both of those fights, and only narrowly missed out on the second one, but obviously life gets in the way, and I've
Yeah.
fallen out of love with the sport and burnt myself out by going to 3 events a month for a year. And yeah, you kind of just need to sometimes refocus, take a step away, and then you find out what you've missed. Do you feel like you've made the right decision coming back now and getting that back under your belt?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. It's to say the least. The discipline's there. Obviously you're waking up sometimes. It is cold. You want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but the discipline's there. The motivation's there. And I'm hungry for it. I'm in the gym with the lads, and I feel like I've lost some time, so I've got some time to make up. Want some nice finishes this year, at least 4, 5, 6 fights this year. So I want to be very, very active. I'm 30 years old now. I've lost that in 2 years, so get some good wins behind the belt.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
I was just about to say, yeah, definitely. And you said you're just coming back into the gym with the lads. You've got a great group there at Resurrection. I've got a lot of time for your gym. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's only 20 minutes away from me.
yeah.
So I've got a lot of time. I've got a lot of time for the gym. It's one of my favorite looking gyms. And you've got some great people there. How have they been? Like you guys like Reese and the Big Serb and everyone getting you, Millie, getting you back into it and kind of getting you remotivated again.
Yeah, it's been great. The communication with the guys at the gym is great. Everyone's helping each other out. We're up early, all of us, and we're working our asses off, and we're in every single night. Today we're out on the road today at 12 o'clock with a coach, head coach Christian Smith. So he's going to absolutely batter us at 12 o'clock on the road for an hour, get some certain conditioning. But yeah, it's been great. We've got likes of Dorian, we've got the Reese, we've got the Millie Vardis, we've got Travs, we've got some good quality fighters in the gym. But also, I have been, going over to other gyms as well, and sparring different lads and getting that variety of skill set back into my game. So yeah, it's exciting. I'm really, really looking forward to the fight. It's the nerves might kick in closer to the time, but at the minute, I just literally want to get in there and start throwing my hands.
Yeah, and people talk about ring rust a lot of the time. What kind of steps have you been taking to make sure that that's not going to be a factor in this fight?
I think for me, my priority has always been number one cardio.
Yeah.
Cardio, you may have a bit of ring rust, but I've been doing a lot of sparring, hitting the pads a lot, working on the technique, if I'm dropping the hands, the lads are letting me know about it. But for me, it's my cardio has been number one priority. So I'm up every morning doing sprints, doing runs, doing assault bikes. That'll keep me through the fight. But I'm confident with the matchup. So yeah.
Yeah, well, just obviously speaking about the matchup, Sean Hutton, guy coming down from Scotland, big wrestler, likes to kind of grind out fights and put a pace on and get things to the floor. Are you kind of expecting the same thing from him against yourself? Are you expecting him to look for that takedown and to kind of do what he normally does in fights?
I expect him to panic once he realizes my striking is my bread and butter. He's going to find out pretty quick. So I expect him to wrestle. If he stands in trays, let's go. It's something I love to do. I like to get throwing the hands and getting nasty. But watching a few of his fights, listen, I've got all respect for him as I do other fighters. We're all doing the same thing. We're all working hard. But it's something I'm confident with the matchup. Never say never. Anything can happen. But yeah, it's nothing that I'm too worried about, to be fair.
Yeah, and so one thing that sticks in my head from your previous fights is kind of opening up with those leg kicks and the calf kicks, the lower leg kicks and stuff, and that seems to kind of bring the openings, and that's always a good thing to use against a wrestler, I think, because it stops that momentum of them being able to push off to jump for the legs. Obviously, not giving too much away, but is that something that you've kind of been sharpening up again, the leg kicks and kind of attacking the base?
Yeah, over 10 years, obviously, with the kickboxing, I predominantly was a kickboxer from when I was 20 years old. So the kicks have never left. Even if I put 10 kilograms on, the kicks have never left. They've always been sharp. They've always been heavy. But yeah, without giving too much away, it's if he wants to wrestle, we can wrestle. If he wants to strike, we can strike. It's going to go either way.
Yeah, and look, like you said you want to be really active this year. Are you? So I'm guessing without pushing for finishes, that's kind of what you're going to be looking for. Is nice early finishes, so you can kind of come out of the cage, no injuries, get back into training, reset, and keep going again.
Absolutely, yeah. So there's, I'm not overlooking this fight at all. But there's a few other fight promotions that, depending on how the fight does go, fit in well, jumping straight back in 46 weeks later. So definitely, I'm making sure I'm looking after myself in the process with my recovery. Recovery is great. My nutrition's bang on. So yeah, very active this year. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and what we kind of like to offer at Wolkernite is a bit of a home for people. Like we've had Reese on countless times. I think he's been at every single event that I have. We've had Luke on a couple of times. We've had Millie on at the card. We kind of like want to be a bit of a home for people at the gym, and I feel like when you have that, you're not ever too far away from a title shot if you can put a couple of wins together. Is that something you may be looking for towards the end of the year to kind of finish the year with a belt?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. It's something over the last couple of years, it was always something in a goal for me, to grab a belt. So definitely this year, active, find a few shows, get on the Wolkernite, and we'll see how this one turns out. Highlight finish, and we'll see for the next one.
Yeah, exactly. And just moving quickly on to like the next few weeks. Obviously, I said it was about 5 and a bit weeks away. This is kind of where people's training starts stepping up a notch. What are your kind of plans for the rest of the month and then the first week or two of February?
Like I say, cardio, strength and conditioning, make sure nutrition's great, getting some absolute solid brands in with some mustard lads. There's some good gyms around here. You've got your Fourth Dimensions, you've got your Amber Valleys, there's some really good kickboxing lads, you've got some good wrestlers. So it's just throwing the work in and throwing myself in the deep end and, making sure I'm taking some shots. So, yeah.
Do you think we're kind of overlooked in terms of like an area in the East Midlands? Obviously, with the West Midlands, you've got your not Resurrection, you've got your Renegade, you've got your Fearless MMA, you've got your Ronin, obviously Liverpool, Manchester, where you've got them gyms. Do you think we're kind of overlooked a little bit in the East Midlands? Because I think we've got some fantastic talent.
Absolutely, yeah. When you look at your gyms around their area on the East Midlands, you've got some really good lads. Some of the lads that are amateur, they're ready to be professionals. They're just getting the numbers in the cage. So I think we're definitely overlooked. Definitely, yeah, 100%.
Well, that's hopefully obviously something that is going to change this year because we've got a lot of these mid guys fighting on the Wolkernite card and we're only getting bigger. But Brandon, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really appreciate your time. Like I said, when Josh messaged me saying, "Oh, can you drop Brandon a message?" I was excited because he said it was someone that I wanted to see more of after your last fight. So yeah, really glad you're coming on, mate, and I'm happy to see that you're on the card.
Yeah, lovely. Just missed it at the last one, didn't I? It was to be fair, I think he had what four fights more than me.
Yeah.
And I think after the fight with me, I think he went professional after he knocked him out with a spinning kick. So yeah, I think. But looking back on that fight, I was quite disappointed because I wasn't as active with with my combinations. I think with a bit more wrestling integrated into the rounds, I think I took the win. But listen, he was a tough lad, so I'm looking forward to this one and let's see what it brings.
Well, you were his seventh amateur fight, and that was your second against Zana, and then obviously
without blowing my own trumpet, he didn't look like the second. I wasn't out of depth one bit.
No, exactly. So yeah, really excited to see it. But like I said, make sure you get your tickets. Go to the fighters, please. Get your tickets off them. livemma.co.uk. Come down for the event. It's going to be amazing. Some fights that we've not even announced yet are just going to bring this card up another level. But once again, Brandon, best of luck with your training camp, mate. I hope everything goes well, and I'll see you on fight night.
Yeah, see you in
nice
5-6 weeks, mate.
Yep, see you soon, mate. Thank you. Cheers, bud.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.